And welcome, Arlington Wrestling Club TV, Episode 2. We interview the Gabe Nettleton, and he tells us all about his wrestling hopes and dreams. That sound good? How long have you been doing this?
This will be my 5th year.
Going on your 5th year? Yeah. Why did you start wrestling?
Mostly because you can get stronger, speed and agility.
Yeah.
Goes up amazingly.
Yeah. So you started wrestling and you were playing baseball, and then you stopped playing baseball. You decided to do freestyle Greco. What made you want to go year round?
And I just loved the sport when I first started.
Yeah.
I mean,
Loved it.
It's just fun practicing with other people, getting better and going to tournaments.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe, what's your favorite style? Freestyle, folk style, Greco? If you had to choose.
It's probably folk style or Greco.
Folk style or Greco, okay. That's interesting. What's the most rewarding part of it? What do you like?
When you win a tough match and practice pays off.
What's the hardest part?
Competing against your teammates in wrestling tournaments and your friends.
It is pretty tough, yeah. You've had to compete a lot with your friends this year, huh?
I don't think coaches like to see that either. we prefer wrestling another club.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got to try and filter in some duels a little more than usual, just to give them different opportunities instead of each other. What's your best wrestling memory so far?
This year, getting first at regions.
That was pretty cool. We almost saw a Nettleton Spradlin finals in the regions. So it was a controversial call that Nate didn't get to continue on. And I have actually done my homework. I have the rule book here. There's 2 ways that could have went, so that's just unfortunate. But you got first at regions. What else?
My first year, I went to state. When I won against Garrett, I mean, it was hard because all you said is move around, wait for him to shoot.
Don't give away all your trade secrets. What paid off that year, huh? You got the pin?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Get your first state medal. Actually, no, your first year you medaled at Dixie. You medaled at Dixie Nationals. You didn't medal at state. It was your second year. You wrestled Garrett in the blood round. Yeah. Tough competitors, for sure. So you have, 4 more years left? Do you go to high school? What do you want to accomplish before you go to high school?
If we go to Dixie again, I want to try to place higher than 4th.
Okay. You want to go to do some national tournaments, huh?
And nationals.
Speaking of high school, you got an older brother that's in high school. What is it like having an older brother that wrestles?
I mean, I have to pretty much go to all his tournaments and watch him. So unless we have a tournament on that day, but I mean, you get to learn a lot of new moves from the high schoolers. So
You like the little mascot? He's like the little mascot.
Oh yeah.
He climbs around when he can.
Yeah. Can you see yourself one day in that high school singlet?
Yes.
Tigers.
So, yeah.
Aiden likes the striped singlet the best. Which one do you like better?
I like the striped singlet too, but I like the one that's has like the silver in the middle,
Okay,
not the blue in the middle.
gotcha. That's a good one. So what are you doing to stay active?
I've been riding my bike a lot, and
Yeah.
I've done a couple deadlifts.
Couple deadlifts.
Yeah, a couple days of that.
Okay.
I've been throwing the dummy around upstairs sometimes,
You're pretty lucky.
having a mat room.
Throwing dummy around. Did you show everybody your mohawk?
The Z wore away.
The Z. Yeah, I put a Z in, or a lightning bolt. It's not a Z. It's a lightning bolt.
Cool.
Barracks cuts. That's what it was. It was the barracks cut.
Yeah.
You know, the old clippers.
So you've been doing a little deadlift. What other things have you been doing out there?
Well, the other day I just went on a bike ride with Connor.
You walk the dogs every day.
Most of the time, unless Aiden goes on his own.
Okay. Aiden's warm-up routine.
Hey, I heard you did 1,000 push-ups one day. How was that?
My shoulders got very sore the next day, and the 2 days after that.
Wow. You definitely come back twice as strong.
He counted each one. Started out the morning with a few hundred. I mean, I was surprised, but he did it. That's what happens when you watch too much flow. That's from the Colot. That's one of Colot's things. He talks about his dad having to make him do push-ups for certain things and having to do a few thousand push-ups in a day.
Getting late for practice.
Late for practice.
Wow.
That's right. If you're late to practice, coach makes you run or do push-ups, even if your dad's a coach.
Yeah. I need to enforce that for Tyrese and TJ. Push-ups for practice.
And it's going to be, I mean, we have to do like back flips or front flips or something. Gotta find a challenge for them.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite college wrestler?
Spencer Lee.
Yeah. That's a good one. Why do you like Spencer?
Because he dominates everyone. Doesn't matter about the rankings. He just goes out there. He doesn't care who he's wrestling, no matter what.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. Rankings don't matter, right? Every match starts.
0-0.
Yep. Good. Any questions for Coach Tremaine?
Did you wrestle as a kid ever?
Well, I didn't wrestle. We didn't have any youth programs where I was from in South Carolina. My first introduction to wrestling was at the high school level. And quite frankly, I wasn't that good. I was athletic, but just not where you guys will be by the time you get to high school, because I just didn't have that foundation. And so I still enjoyed it. You know, it was a sport that kind of stuck with me. I started out more as a basketball player, more so than a wrestler. But my dad was Army, and we would frequently move, duty stations. So the wrestling team was one that you didn't have to really try out for. You didn't have to be there the year prior to actually play. So I just kind of would gravitate towards the wrestling room. And, like I said, I didn't have a whole bunch of skills, but what I did have, it kind of stuck with me for life. And then as soon as I saw the wrestling flyer, I was like, oh, okay, we got a local wrestling squad. Let me sign my boys up. Because I got a lot of friends who, were successful in wrestling at the collegiate level. And a lot of them still coach to this day. So once you're a wrestler, you're kind of always a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Athletic stuff left your body.
Yeah. And Tyrese is just talking trash about my non-athletic abilities right now.
His day will come.
Yeah. I told him, I said, I can't wait till you turn 40. I'm going to be right there. Yeah. So what is it like having your dad as a coach, the head coach?
You can say whatever, but it's your interview.
Hey, you can be honest. Trust me.
It's kind of funny at times, but most of the time it's good. You can have a lot of time wrestling. You have more time to do it, more free time.
Pretty cool. Yeah, dads can be kind of hard too on you at times, but nobody knows you quite like your dad.
I'm curious what the funny part is. Nobody's ever said I'm funny before. Not in wrestling.
When
What?
you ripped Tyler's pants, that was funny.
When I ripped Tyler's pants?
He has pants ripped, his pajama pants, whenever we were practicing, and he was your dummy.
And Tyler's pants ripped in practice? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I've had mine ripped in practice before.
Oh yeah, the one the open mat, one playing with
Yeah.
the ball.
I was using those misdirection balls to kind of keep them quick on their feet. It was back when the Turners were still around. I still remember I had those same pajama pants. They just dry rotted, and I went down the two and it's like, whoosh. Well, I'm not demonstrating that anymore.
Hey, your dad was in a match a couple of years ago, a freestyle match at a tournament in Bartlett. Do you remember that? What did you think about that?
He should have gotten that 5 points because the ref was not paying attention.
I agree with that one. I thought he should have got 5 or at least 4.
He was a big boy.
Yeah. I got another question for you. So thinking about, your competition this year, your matches this year, if you could take back one match and wrestle a kid again, who would it be and why?
It would be Sancheer Eddington because I think my first match was the best against him. He only scored 2 points on me, but then I had a couple other matches with him that weren't as good. So I would hope that I could wrestle him again next year and win.
He's a good wrestler.
Okay, he's a good wrestler, and I'm sure his dad will see this interview and invite him back out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Any other questions for me? Or Dad? Coach?
What was it like when you first figured out there was a wrestling club and becoming a coach?
Oh, I can remember it vividly. I didn't even think twice about it. Came home and talked to my wife. I said, "Hey, I'm going to sign the boys up for wrestling." The first thing she said was, "Absolutely not." I don't know if it was because of the singlets, or she was just kind of afraid of them getting hurt, which most parents are, when you don't know a lot about the sport. She grew up in a place called Orange Mound, and they're pretty big in basketball and football. Those are the primary sports, so she wasn't really aware of wrestling. But I kind of told her that, hey, this sport is one that will teach a lot of life lessons, and I think it'll benefit them even if they only wrestle the 8th or 9th grade, they'll never forget this wrestling. I hope they wrestle throughout high school, of course.
Yeah.
But a lot of the skills and life skills that they'll learn, they'll be able to take it on and apply it to their everyday life. So I was definitely excited. Didn't know there was, wrestling in West Tennessee like that. Florida, I didn't see any flyers for wrestling. Tyrese, I think, was, he's your age, so he was mad young back then. I think TJ was about 6 or 7. But like I said, I'm glad I signed him up early. Reflecting back on my career, had I had the good foundation like these guys you have, probably would have been a totally different wrestler. Not saying that you can't come on in 9th, 10th grade and tear it up. There are some kids that jump right in at the high school level and are successful, but I just think, would like them to be more comfortable by the time they hit the high school stage. Because, it gets tough in high school. You got to love it then.
Yeah. Ask him if he's going to let Shari wrestle. Go ahead.
You gonna let Ashari wrestle?
She asked me every day about wrestling, right? She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get to do an interview, right?" I said, "Well, you're not really a wrestler." So her brothers are strictly against her wrestling, but if she shows some interest this summer and she puts in some work to learn the fundamentals, I might give her a chance on the mat. But hey, she's already saying, "Hey, Dad, I don't know if I can learn all those moves."
You just have to find a few that you like.
Yep.
We show a lot of stuff during the season, but you have to just pick the few that you like that work for you. You have to know how the other ones work, so you know how to defend them. That's it.
Yep.
We could do an interview with her.
Yeah.
Be a call to action.
Yeah, you only need a couple moves. I think the move I had in high school was a double leg and a half. That was the extent of my toolbox. Power half and a double leg. Cool.
What would you say, Gabe, to anybody who's not sure if they want to wrestle or maybe they're afraid of wrestling? What would you say to your friends that aren't sure if they want to wrestle?
I mean, I would just say it's a tough sport and you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I would do it.
Why?
If I were you. You gain speed and agility and strength. And you get to know many people and travel around a lot.
Okay.
So you say you get to meet a lot of different kids, gain friendships. What are some of the friends that you've met, not just from Arlington Wrestling Club, but just wrestling clubs around the city?
The city?
Any wrestling friends or?
I mean, not from this club.
Tracy, you hang out with Tracy.
Yeah.
She's from Cleveland. Tracy was a state champ last year.
And Maddox. That's Tracy's friend also.
Maddox, okay. You hang out with Jack and Payne and Jim and Joe and
Joe. Jack.
Yeah.
Cool.
A lot of friends, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys talk about? You talk about wrestling, you hang out, you talk about Fortnite or girls. You talk about girls?
You don't seem too sure about that, Ash.
Just hang out?
That's the good thing about wrestling, with the friendship and camaraderie that you build, you'll have a lot of lifelong friends from the sport, youth level, high school, going to college. So think that's one of the good things about wrestling as well.
For sure. He can still make weight.
Yeah.
He's been eating and working out. He's still under 65.
Wow. I think that raises up.
The kids are up.
Yeah. He's probably 75 now for sure.
Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good next year. Hopefully it'll spread out a little bit.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, dude. You got anything else you want to say? Anybody wanting to wrestle?
Not really, but
Okay. You don't have to. It's up to you. You gotta speak up a little bit. No?
And one last thing. What about a quote? Do you have a quote or a saying that kind of gets you pumped up? Tough question, but never give up, keep fighting,
Just do it.
just do it.
I
I'm a
think-
warrior and a member of a team.
I mean, keep fighting until you never give up. But
There you go.
Yeah, I like that one.
Keep fighting. All right, might be a wrap.
Okay, good stuff.
Episode 2.
Signing off.